CFL football would have completed its preseason by this point and entered week 1 of the regular season. Instead, we don't know. The schedule at CFL.ca states, "At this point, we remain optimistic that a CFL schedule will be played. As the situation is fluid," it says, "if anything changes, we will be communicating to our fans immediately." The websites for the Toronto Argos and the Ottawa Red Blacks feature the coming soon notice. All other team sites still show their schedules as they were when issued during the winter. On the upside is the fact that we're not reading the words "season cancelled." We know CFL execs are still working to find a solution that will allow some form of a season to take place. What we do hear at this point is that nothing will likely happen until September. That no fans or extremely limited capacity will be at the games. That the winning team of the shortened season will be the home game in the championship final. That the idea of hub cities is actively being explored, where 1, 2, or 3 set locations will stage all games. That these hub cities, or hub city, will probably be in the West, and that no live games will be played in the East. Previously scheduled Grey Cup arrangements have been cancelled, as has been the excursion game in the Maritimes. And that league execs are still having a dialogue with federal officials on what types of financial partnerships can be struck. We also know the Spring Football League approached the CFL in the hopes of striking some sort of partnership, and the response was, "Thanks, but not at this time." So what we'll likely see is a more modest, truncated, and condensed version of the existing structure. But what about thinking completely outside that structure? On the one hand, is it possible to take the CFL and, for half or a third of the season, basically return it to its community-sized roots? What I mean here is play the games not in CFL stadiums, but in smaller communities where professional football hasn't been played. There's the issue of practice facilities and lodging for the players and team personnel, but smaller cities have such facilities. Think about university towns, Kelowna and Victoria, Sherbrooke and Quebec City, London, Waterloo, or Sarnia. U Sports has cancelled its season, so facilities are available. Wouldn't smaller locations help expand the fan base and interest, and potentially reduce the costs of hosting a game? If the fan base at the games needs to be reduced anyway, why not completely shift into small town mode for 2020? Okay, it still means travel, which the hub city model significantly reduces, but I think there has to be a way for something so novel to be considered. On the other hand, another way out would see the CFL somehow partner with the NFL for 2020. Is it possible? Travel restrictions between Canada and the US should be lightened somewhat by September. CFL matches against NFL teams were known to happen a few decades ago. Is something of this idea even possible? A few matchups? Or what about a double-header game in a single location, a CFL opener and an NFL game, which showcases the total game of football, the talent of North America? A larger pool of resources, perhaps in a Canadian location, perhaps in a US location. I'm just kind of spitballing here. But the point is, there is always a way. I don't think that remaining within the existing parameters is necessarily the most valuable solution. I think we just have to start thinking a little crazier to get closer to something more workable for everyone. These are extraordinary times and call for creative, totally out-of-the-box ideas. Visit stephenchristiansen.ca for more episodes. This podcast is available through premium streaming platforms including Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Breaker. I'm Stephen Christiansen. Thanks for listening.